Hello everyone, Free-MTG-Stuff here. This is my work in project. I do have to obviously repaint this. I am going to be putting up some art, make it a little more appealing. But for now, this is what you get. Doing the question and answers for the 100 subscribers. I really appreciate everybody that's here. I'll go through some of the questions now, and if I do mess up your name, please bear with me. I'll do my best. First question, Spencer Coelho. What made you do giveaways? Well, just as my first video says, I want to make content for YouTube. I want to do giveaways to the Magic community and use the YouTube money that I do get from the videos to give back to the community. So the more people that join, the more I can give out, and hopefully at some point, if it grows big enough, YouTube's paying for it all. Right now it is out of my pocket. I enjoy doing it. I enjoy the conversation with some of you, and I look forward to making these videos. So for now, it's all on me. I hope in the future the giveaways can grow larger and more often, and that all depends on the Magic community supporting the channel. So I hope it continues to grow and the giveaways grow with it. Next question, Dean Gulberry. What set did you start in and what's your favorite set? Well, the quick answer to both of those is revised, 3rd edition. That's when I started. That's when I was in middle school, started playing the game, fell in love with it. I have been off and on, I'll be honest with you. I have not played consistently the whole time, but it's always been a part of my life. I've always owned the cards, and just as an example, this box alone, as you can tell, has, this right here is just revised, that I personally purchased myself. Never let them go. May have not played the whole time, but I can give you an example. I'll grab a chunk right here, and they're all pretty much back fresh revised. And that's just the first chunk. So that's my favorite. Just like anything, when you first start something, that usually becomes what you're anchored to, what you're drawn to. Just as another example, I still have some of the original boxes that I use for fillers and some of the original rule booklets. So I even have some of the original booklets, the rule booklets, revised, Ace Age, I believe 4th, 5th. I mean, that was it. That's what you got. That was how simple the game was. All the mechanics didn't exist. But I mean, these are, again, fresh out of the pack. Haven't been used. Just always hung on to this stuff. All of these I personally bought. These are just revised. So, been in the game for a while. Alex Poobum, how long have you played? Well, back to the original question, was it 93, 94 when Revised came out is when I started. Played to about Visions, a little further, went back in, 5th Dawn, Dark Steel. Was out for a real long time when I started my career, when I had my child. Getting back into it pretty heavy again now that I have extra income and extra time, now that my son's a little older. But I always loved the game, always kept an eye on it, but I never always actively played. I never always actively bought product, but it's always been there. DK Rosis asks, what's your favorite card? My follow-up question was, are you talking about gameplay or art? They wanted a question answered for both. So I will tell you my favorite art has to be any of the Ajanis. I do like that Planeswalker. There's another question in here, who's my favorite Planeswalker? I would say Ajani. Not my favorite to play with, just I think it's the best art. The most recent art is actually by one of the artists that I follow, Therese Nielsen. She did one of the Ajani artworks for 8th of Revolt. So definitely something to look at. But again, the quick question is, what's my favorite card? The answer, Maze of Ith. The original, if you can get it from the dark, about $15, $18 a piece. Tap it, it's a land, so it doesn't cost anything to get out. Tap it, target attacking creature becomes untapped. This creature neither deals nor receives damage as a result of combat. So if you were attacking in and they block with, so you're attacking with a 4/4, they're blocking with a 1/1, and then they do an additional 3 points of damage through a giant growth or a lightning bolt, just going real easy with the combos here. You can use it on your own creature. So it neither deals nor receives damage as a result of combat, and it stays alive. If you're attacking me, I can stop any attacker with it. Plain and simple, you get it back untapped, but I don't take any damage. So that's my favorite card. The Swag Squad asks, what state do I live in? Massachusetts, north of Boston, south of New Hampshire, so somewhere in there. And my first name is Andrew. It wasn't a question that came up. I don't know if I've ever said it, but I am Andrew. My son is Jacob, and I live in Massachusetts. David Kahn, how do you feel about Fifth Dawn as a set? Well, I did buy the product. I actually own a complete copy of the set, one of every card. I will be doing a review on that, so for a more detailed answer, I will do it on that set review. But I like it. I believe that was Dark Steel era, and it was very artifact heavy. Some people like that, some people don't. Me personally, I don't mind artifacts at all. Solid Liquid asks, do you play EDH, and what's my favorite deck type? And then somebody else asks, Eric Parker, do you enjoy EDH, and should Wizards support it more? The quick answer is yes, I do play EDH. As far as my favorite deck type, I actually play with just the stock decks that Wizards sells, the packs that you make, that they make. I haven't constructed my own, simply because for as often as I play, it's usually with other players that aren't in the competitive scene. We like to keep things balanced. By using Wizards product, it's pre-balanced for us. It's not an arms race. It's not he makes more than me, she can afford more money, and can buy better cards to always win. So we actually, in our circle, choose to keep the decks stock for that very reason. That way, it's about having fun, it's about playing and thinking smart versus affording the cards that can just simply win every time. I do not like some of the infinite combos. I know it's part of the game, just not a fan of it. I like slugging it out. I like going toe to toe, putting creatures, casting spells, and just having fun with it. It doesn't have to be a 4-turn game. To me, I want to sit back, relax, and I know it's a thinking game. I know you have to, pay attention to what's going on, but something about infinite combos and just buying yourself the win that I personally don't like. Adam Salinger asks, what's my favorite format? Right off the top of my head, my answer is going to be EDH. The other format I really like is Pauper. That kind of goes back to the previous comments of things being more balanced, people not being able to buy the win with money. So I am a proponent of Pauper. Right now, those are the two formats that I play the most. I also have a cube, which allows us to draft without buying packs. And of course, I will buy packs and draft, but that allows us to not be out any money, have 5, 6, 7, 8 players on a given night, whoever shows up, and you never know what you're going to get to play with. So the answer to the formats, I'm going to add Cube to that. So Cube, EDH, and Pauper, those are my favorites right now. Everything TV asks, what's my favorite Planeswalker? Simple question, but the problem is it depends what style of play you like. All the different Planeswalkers work differently. I'm just going to simply say a Johnny. I love the artwork on it. I'm very happy every time I open any Planeswalker, but something about a Johnny I always like. Alfred Moore asks, what's my favorite color to play? From day one, it's always been blue. I do enjoy tempo, counter spells, controlling things. So, answer, blue. Why? Because I will simply counterspell what you're doing if I don't like it. If it happens, I'll control it. And if I can't control it, I will simply copy it. Saul Zinga asks, my top favorite Aether Revolt cards. I'm gonna have to go with Walking Ballista. Getting those counters to pump up the creature, +1/+1, and be able to do damage with it if something comes out that you don't like. Absolutely great. Paradox Engine, being able to untap everything when you cast the spell. Non-land permanents, I should add, not mana, but Fatal Push, obviously, that card's not going anywhere for a long time. It's going to be in every format for a long time. And for an uncommon, it has unbelievable value from a money standpoint. Disallow would be also in the top 5. Again, liking blue, having a counter spell that can do abilities as well as spells. Very powerful to stop infinite combinations, and when somebody's on a roll, you can interrupt that. So I absolutely love that. The last on the 5, I'd say Rishkar Pima Renegade. For 3 mana, you get a 2/2 creature. You get 2 +1/+1 counters on other creatures, and then those creatures also can produce mana. You want to talk about a complete boost, having an extra creature, pumping up your existing creatures, and expanding your mana base for 3 mana. I don't think you can go wrong with that card if you're playing green. So recommend that card as well. Tim Bister asks, do you recommend playing different types of decks to find out what you like as a play style, or do you play 1 or 2 decks to learn how to play them right? My answer to you is going to be, find out the style you like. When you find out the style that you like, then you construct a deck around that, and then you perfect playing that deck. There's no point in playing a deck or perfecting a deck that, in the end of the day, you just simply don't enjoy. I liked black in the past. I'm not a huge fan of playing out of the graveyard. I don't like that mechanic. If you do, absolutely fine. Part of the game, I have to play against that. I will. That's not a problem. I don't like doing it, so I don't. Find the mechanics that you enjoy. When you find the mechanics you enjoy playing, find the combos. When you find the combos, build a deck. Build the deck, learn to play it, and enjoy. So my quick answer to you is, find the play style you like, make the deck you like, then perfect. Each color has its own theme. White usually gives you life. Green goes for large creatures. Black plays out of the graveyard, brings things back. Blue is control. Red is, burning and direct damage with, fast, small creatures. There's always exceptions to all of those, but get a feel for what you enjoy as a player. The game is there for your enjoyment, so make sure you're playing something you enjoy and then try to get good at it. To me, that's more important than winning, because I'm not a competitive player. So I don't go to the circuits. I don't play in competitions. But I will be going to the Grand Prix in Providence, Rhode Island this coming September. So anybody in the Northeast area of the United States, you plan on going, would absolutely love to meet you, because I am going. Last question, Star Fury 117. Any new content that you plan to do? Yes, there is. This is new to me. Never shown my face here. Never answered questions to people on YouTube. But in a Magic sense, I would like to do gameplay in paper and online. I'd also like to do a little bit of the financing and pricing. That's important to me because I think in the long term, if people are going to spend money and buy new product, that product has to be worth something. I don't think many people would buy these cards, spend this amount of money, and just simply walk away knowing that it's going to be worthless when it goes out of rotation, out of standard rotation in 2 years. I think a lot of people play just the finance game, which is fine by itself. I don't hate those people. I know a lot of people dislike them. If you're a pure player, you don't like them. If you're a pure investor, you don't like the players because they're complaining about what you're doing. I think they have to coexist. So I have no problem on this channel showing gameplay, talking about gameplay, opening packs, and talking about the financial aspect. You can't in this world just look at one thing and say, that's it. You as an individual can say, this is all I'm doing. I'm just buying and selling cards. You as an individual can say, all I'm doing is playing the game and I don't care about financial value. But the sooner you realize you can't live without each other, the better off we'll be. The buyouts and things that a lot of people complain about, they eventually level out. Nobody can, unless you're talking about ultra rare cards, which you can't usually afford or find anyways, a buyout doesn't much matter these days with the amount that they're printing. So to me, I want them to have value. I want players to play, and I want both to be featured on this channel. So again, that's it for today. I want to thank everybody for joining the channel. I certainly hope it grows, because if it does, the giveaways will grow as well. If I ever become as successful as some of the other channels, rest assured, rather than a booster box once in a while, I will be giving out a booster box once a week for all I care. If it's YouTube advertising money coming at me because you're watching, liking, commenting, and subscribing to this, doesn't cost me anything, and you will reap the benefits of that. So thank you, everybody. I hope you enjoyed the question and answer. I look forward to the channel growing. As it grows, as I stated before, I will absolutely increase the giveaways. If the YouTube ad money does come in, I promise you I will give it away. It will be given to the Magic community and to my subscribers. I'm not here to make a living. I'm not here to make this my full-time job. I'm here to enjoy myself, to meet new people, have great conversations, and have some fun along the way. So I certainly hope you have fun as well. If there's anything you want to see, if there's anything I can do, if there's any criticism, good, bad, or indifferent, please let me know. I want to hear from everybody. Again, thank you, everybody.